Hey guys, today we are playing GPO and we're going over how to min-max. And what min-maxing is minimizing the amount of stat points you use while maximizing the amount of effect they have. Like, because in this game, there's like tiers. Everything's in tiers. Like, you can have a certain amount of points and okay, so put it like this. This is the easiest way I can explain it. You have 15 points, right? And right now you're doing, let's say, 10 damage. And if you put in 11 points out of those 15 into your strength stat, you'll be doing 11. I'm getting mixed up my numbers. Okay, you do 10 damage per punch. This is all hypothetical, by the way. These are not real numbers. You have 10 damage with your punches. You have 15 skill points to use, and using exactly 11 skill points would make you do 11 damage instead of 10. That means if you did anywhere between 1 to 10 skill points into that stat, every single one of them's wasted because you're still doing 10 damage per punch instead of 11. But if you put 11 points into that stat, now you're doing 11 damage per punch, and that's min-maxing. But then again, if you put 15 points into that stat, then you'd be wasting 4 points because those 4 points aren't going to bring you into the next damage tier, which would be 12 damage. So you have to play around with your stats until you see the numbers actually go up. Another thing, I min-maxed stamina. This is why I have a very specific stamina number. In my opinion, okay, so when you're making your stat build, always 50 health. You always want 50 health because then if you have all the accessories, I don't have the buggy cape, which I do need that. You need 50 health because you want to have over 300 health, or else sword users will usually one-shot you. Devilfruits will you just don't want to get one-shot. So 50 health is what I'd recommend as a base. You can have more than 50 health, but 50 health as a base for your stats. And then if you have a Devilfruit, I recommend 78 stamina. I just recommend 78 stamina in general. This is the magic stamina number because there's another stat that stamina increases besides your maximum stamina that it doesn't tell you. It also increases your stamina healing, and that's how much stamina you regain per tick of regen. And this exact number, exactly 77 stamina, you'll be healing 4 at a time. But with 77 stamina, you'll be healing 4 at a time, yeah. And with 78, you heal 5 stamina at a time. So that's literally why you want 78, because healing 5 instead of 4 is huge. That like makes your stamina way more. Like instead of putting like 100 points into stamina and getting like over 400 stamina, that's not that useful to me because I've had 400 stamina before and you still only heal 5 at a time. Like, to be honest, in fights, it's not about your max stamina because you're going to be using a lot of moves. It's about your regen because you want to get your moves back. So I feel like getting to where you have 5 stamina heal, and then you'll have all of them. Instead of putting 100, I have 22 extra points in stamina that I don't have to put in stamina because I'm not going to 100. I'm only going to 78, so I can put those stats elsewhere. And then with your fighting style, I only have 20 in black leg, but that's because I only want up to skywalk, because the only move I use with black leg is Collier, and I want Geppo because Geppo is literally goated in this game. So if you have Rokushiki, I would min-max to only get the teleport and Geppo, but that's only if you're a main. It depends on your build. It all depends on your build, what you want to unlock and what you don't want to unlock. Because I wanted Collier and Skywalk, so I min-maxed, which means I only needed 20 for Skywalk, and then there I have the rest of my points. And I min-maxed with my stamina. This is the minimum amount I need for the maximum amount of usage. And then with strength, after I put in my stamina, my black leg mastery, and my 50 defense, I put in 95 here too because I wanted all my Devilfruits unlocked. So this wasn't 110, it was 95. And then this was 0. So I started putting in strength. I put in 50 as a base just to see what damage I was doing, and with 50 I was doing 10 M1 damage and I want to say 18 Collier damage. And then I kept inching it up by 1 and found out that at 57 I do 11 damage per M1, and that's what I wanted. And I also found out that at 56 I'm doing 20 damage per Collier, so I thought that was perfect since it's only 1 extra point to do the extra M1 damage. Now I'm doing a lot extra Collier damage and 1 extra M1 damage. That's why I went exactly to 57. And then I had 15 points left, and I put them 5 at a time into my Devilfruit until it got to 110 because I wanted to get that damage up as well. So at 95 Devilfruit, my what's it called, Flame Pillar does 17 per tick, and my Firefly Light does 6 per tick. So what I did was I added 5, and when I added 5, Firefly stayed the same, Flame Pillar stayed the same. I added 5 again. Now my Firefly was doing 7, but my Flame Pillar was still doing like 17. I added 5 again, and now that's what I'm at right now, 110. Now my Flame Pillar is doing 18, Firefly's doing 7, and I'm okay with that. I just wanted to bump both of the moves' damage up a tier. So now that my Devilfruit damage is where I want it, and I'm out of stats, and that's basically how you want to build your build. You just want to go through the priorities of your build, and then min-max them. So my priorities were my stamina and my black leg basically, and then my Devilfruit. Those were my 3 priorities. And my first priority is stamina. I wanted 5 regen no matter what, so I made sure I got that, so I put that in first. And then I wanted to make sure I had 95 in Devilfruit, so I put 95 in Devilfruit. And then, since I'm pretty okay with 95 Devilfruit damage, I put my next priority was strength, because I wanted to do a decent amount of damage in my combos with the in-between areas with the M1s and Collier. So I min-maxed that. And then after that, I had leftover points, so I put them in the Devilfruit to boost that damage just a little bit higher. And defense, I just always keep at 50 in general, just as a general rule, just because anything less is too little in my opinion. And basically, yeah, you just want to set out the priorities of where you want your stats, and then put in the exact amount you need to get the maximum amount of effect out of the stats. And that's basically how you build your stats in GPO. Hope you guys found this useful. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, I hope this was helpful for some of you guys, because a lot of people I see just put in straight up numbers in a like 5. Like with this it's okay because I needed exactly 20, and this I need exactly 50, this I need exactly 110. But like people always just like, they never use weird numbers like this. They just do exact numbers and count by 5s and 10s, but you're wasting points. And like, because there's exact point values you need. Like for example, if you want to do exactly 20 damage with your M1s as a fist user, put in 129 points into strength. That gets you exactly 20 damage with your M1s. And like stuff like that. There's exact values in this game to get the stats you want. So just conserve on stats and be able to actually get the build you want. Just min-max everything. So yeah, I hope you found that helpful, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. See ya.